Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Laratips. From today's video, we'll be making things dynamic in our website. So first of all, we'll start with settings. So in the settings, the things that we want to be dynamic are this hero image in the background, this description. And if you go here in the about us image background, this description. Also in the contact us page, we want this Laratips, this address, phone, email, and this map to be dynamic. Also this background image. So we'll start with this hero section from today. So if I go here in the blog.test/dashboard here, let me log in here. Okay, we can see this page here. So this is the same page that we have left from our first video. Okay, now what we want is we want a menu here under this profile. Yeah, we want a settings menu here, and whenever we click on that, we want to go to that settings page. So first of all, let us create models and migration for our settings. So now here, let's say model settings -m. So this PA model is an alias that I have made for PHP artisan make model, so it will be easier for me to type. Okay, so let's say PA model settings -m. It will create a model and a migration. So now if I see here this settings and this migration, if I open it here, okay, here, yeah. Now we'll add the columns in the settings as JSON. Okay, there will only be one row in our settings table. Yeah, so from that settings table, we'll get all the information that we want for our front-end website. So that can be either hero image, description, or contact us detail. Yeah. So that kind of thing will come from this settings table, and we can say here table JSON data. Yeah? We'll get all the information as a JSON. Since this data will not be related to any other things in our database, so we don't want to keep it as a separate column. So let's say in the future we want to add some other things in our settings, then we don't want to create an extra column for that. Yeah, we can easily use this JSON for that. Okay, now if I go here in the settings model, we can cast that into array. So we can say data. So if you don't know about anything about casting, then you can go ahead and watch my casting tutorial. So I'll just be leaving the link to that video tutorial just below that like button. Also, basically what it does is it basically converts this JSON into array whenever we access this data property from this model. This array is by default provided to us by Laravel. Okay, let us also do some guarded here. Yeah, so whenever we save something, it will not throw the mass assignment error. Okay, now let us also create a route. Yes, settings route and controller. So let us create controller first. Admin. So I'll be creating the settings controller inside the admin folders. Again, this PA controller will be PHP artisan make controller. So if I hit enter here, so this admin's settings controller is being created inside the admin folder here. So you can see here app http controllers admin settings controller. Okay, this made. Now let me go to web.php here route. Yeah, this is the same thing that we have done before. Now let me just duplicate this and let me say settings here and settings controller, and let us make create method here, and let's say here settings dot create. Yeah, and let us create a create method. Okay, so in the normal Laravel application, we would basically return the blade view from here, but now we are working with Jetstream, which is powered by Inertia. So we'll return an Inertia response from here. Return Inertia. So it is being imported here. Inertia render. Now instead of blade view, we'll be returning Vue.js file from here. So if I go here in this resources.js and this pages folder, yeah, so if I just minimize this, so whatever we write inside here, we can call it from here. Yeah, so in the blade view, whatever thing inside the views folder, we would call it from this view method here. Now we can say here, so let's say we want settings/create. So it will look into this pages folder and it will look the settings folder there, and it will look for this create.view. Whatever in the end, it will look for .view file. And let us create that inside this pages. We'll create settings/create.view. Yeah, so we have created that. Okay, now let's say settings for now. Yeah, and if I go here, okay, it's done already. Now we have to run npm run watch here. Okay, it's done. So we have returned this settings create from here. And if we go here in the browser, so here, okay, let us create this settings menu here. Yeah, so that's coming from the app layout from here, so which is under this resources JS layouts app layout. And here, if we look here in the settings drop down, so here is this profile. Yeah, and this is this profile. Now let us just add it just below it. We can say here settings here, and here we should give the same name that we have defined here in the web.php, this settings.create here, and it will just give the URL over here. Okay, it will render it there. So this feature is here for us by the package called Jiggy. So if you look here in the composer.json, so you can see here this Jiggy package, and it will render all the JavaScript in our view. So if we go here in the, so also this is by default installed whenever we install Jetstream. Yeah, and now if we go here in the browser, so if I see the source here, yeah, so you can see here this Jiggy. Yeah, so it is giving us all the information over here. Yeah, so it will give all the routes that are defined in our project. It will make us available in the JavaScript. And if we look here in the app.js inside the resources.js folder, so here it is also seeing view.mixin. This is done by the Jetstream for us, and this is defining a global mixin here. Yeah, and inside the method. So if we define here methods like this, it is same as defining the method here in our view component here inside this script tag. Yeah, so because of that, this route method will also be available to us in this template as well. So we can define it like this now. Yeah, from any template. Okay, we have done this. Now let me refresh the page here, and now if I go here, you can see here I am getting this settings menu. Now if I click here, so we cannot see here anything, it is blank. Now if I go here and see in the create, so we are just not doing anything here. So just it is not like HTML. Yeah, we have to return something. Let's say view, yeah, view component, and let me say div, and let us do like this something here. Yeah, now if I come here and refresh the page, now you can see here we are seeing that data here. Yeah, so which means that whenever we return this settings/create from this controller, it will look into this pages folder and inside the settings, and it will look into this create.view, and it is rendering this. Yeah, now we don't want this blank page over here. We want the same designs like that we have seen in the profiles page. Yeah, so now what we can do is we can just copy the design from here. So in the show, let me just copy all this and let me add it inside this here, and let me just remove whatever we don't need from here. We don't need this, we don't need this kind of information, and we don't need this here. Yeah, so let me leave these props here. So we can say here settings. So now let's see what we will be seeing here. Okay, we are seeing this information over here. Yeah, okay, now let us go to that profile show. So we are getting the information, all those designs like this. If we go here and see here, so this kind of design here, yeah, we are getting from these components. So update profile, yeah, this kind of component separately. So let me go here and let me copy all this data from here, and inside the settings let me create a component update hero data.view. So we'll be creating a component which will update the hero section data in the home page. So now what we can say here is hero information update the hero section data. Okay, so here we are getting is this profile, yeah, so profile photo. We'll be changing this into hero section photo, and we are getting this name and email. We don't need this, yeah, we need description, so we'll convert this name into the description. And we have this save button over here and all those other components, yeah. So here is the props as a user, we'll change this as well. So we have this name and email, so this is the put. So we'll be making post request, so we will not this put, yeah, we will remove that. And we'll have this, we have this photo here, we'll change into hero image, and instead of name we'll have description over here. For now let me just remove this and add empty string. So this bag we don't need here, and this reset on success is false, yeah. Whenever we click on save, then whenever we add it here true, then it will reset the form, but we don't want that here. Okay, it is referencing the form.photo here, but we have this hero.image here, yeah. So let me just replace this with hero.image here. And I think everything is okay here. So this delete photo we don't need, so I'll remove this. So I only want to make these things visible for now. So let me look wherever I want to change any data there. So we'll be making all these things into a separate component, yeah. Okay, here is the user, yeah. So let's see if there is any other where the user is being referenced. So user.profile photo URL, so it is saying this. So let me comment this for now. Okay, here it is saying this remove, yeah, so we don't need this feature here, so I'll just remove that. And here it is a user. Okay, now let us go to the browser and let us see if something is missing here. So let me just refresh the page here. So it is not showing anything. Let us see the console here, what the error is. Oh yeah, sorry, we haven't used that component here inside the create, yeah. So let us import that here. So we can say here update hero data. So just before importing this component, let me show you something here. So now if I go inside this view, yeah, DevTools, now here inside this create, so we are getting sessions here, yeah. So if we see here, we are getting the sessions from here. So we want the settings data here. Since this is the settings page, we want settings data here. So for that, what we can do is, if we go here in the settings controller, so in the view, if we pass data as array, that we would get that as a variable in our view blade, yeah. But here we can pass same, like in the same way, settings. If we pass here like settings like this, yeah, and let me say as an array for now, okay. So if we pass it like this, then this will be available to us as props here. So if I do settings here and if I save here, now if I refresh here and if I go here in the create, now you can see here I'm getting that settings as a props. So whatever data I pass here in this from here controller, it will be available to us in this component as props. Okay, now let me go to this component and let me import this component. Now let me also add this here. Okay, now let's see what we get here. Okay, now you can see here we are getting this hero information and this select a new photo from here. And if we see here in the console, so this is just a favicon not found, so this is not any issue. So we are not seeing that preview photo here, yeah. So let's fix that now. Update hero data, I think we have commented that here. Let us uncomment this, and it is just saying that if there is no photo preview, then we'll show this URL, user.profile photo URL, but we want to show that hero image URL, which will come from settings hero image URL. Yeah, we'll define this property in the settings. Okay, we have done this now. So for now in the settings controller, so let us not pass it as array, let us pass it as object here. Now if we go here and let's say refresh here, so we are getting some error here. The settings is not defined. Yeah, so let us pass this settings from our create component from here to this one. Settings equals to settings. Yeah, and let us define this here inside. So let us pass this settings here instead of user. Now if I go here and refresh the page, now you can see here this photo over here. Yeah, so if there is no any photo, then we want to show it like this here in our profile page, so like this image here. Yeah, so if we see here and inspect here, it is just returning this from the UI avatars.com. Now let me go to the settings here and go in the controllers. Now we will be passing the data from here, but we will not passing the plain data. Okay, we will be passing from a resource. So if you don't know about the resource or API resource, then don't worry about it, I will be explaining those as well. So now let us create PHP artisan make resource setting resource. Yeah, so it will create a file here, settings resource here inside the app HTTP resource. So if we go here in the app HTTP resources, inside this there is a settings resource, and it is currently returning this array here. Yeah, parent to array. So let me just remove this and just return an array here, and let's say hero image URL, and for now let me just return this. Okay, and from here controller will not return this, will return new settings resource. Yeah, now it will expect one parameter, which will be the modal from here. Yeah, we'll say, let's say settings. Okay, and let us define settings equals to settings find one. Since in the settings there will be only one row, so it will always have the ID of 1. Okay, so if it doesn't find here, then we'll just return new settings. Okay, we have done this. Now let us migrate. Okay, migration is successful. Now if we go here in our table in the blogs database, so you can see the settings is here. Okay, we have done this. Now if we go here in this update hero data in the settings here, let me just comment it for now because it will again throw an error otherwise. So if I go here and refresh the page here, I want to show you something here. Okay, now here if we go in the view DevTools and the create, so you can see here it is passing settings and it is passing a data as well here. Yeah, so if you see here in the settings, so we are returning this settings. So whenever we return a resource, it will wrap all those in the data, and inside the data we have hero image URL, so that we are getting from this setting resource hero image URL. Yeah, okay, so what we want to do is, so here instead of settings.heroImage URL, we want to do settings.data.heroImage URL, and instead of this name we want to say hero image like this. Yeah, it will take from this name, that image name. Yeah, so now if I go here and let me refresh, So you can see that image is now available, and if I inspect it, you can see that same name over here. Yeah, so we have defined it statically here, but now we want these things to be dynamic. Okay, now we have defined in the settings migration, if you see here, there is only one column as a JSON data. Yeah, so we want hero image and hero description. So now what we can do here is, let's say hero description, and let's say this hero description over here like this. Okay, so this will mean, so if we go here in the settings control, so we have passed here settings. Yeah, and this will refer to this settings model. This will not refer to this settings resource. Okay, under the hood, Laravel is calling the magic method, and it is making us available all the methods that are available in this method. Okay, so it is calling this underscore underscore call magic method under the hood. So now, okay, we have passed this. So this hero description we should define in this settings model. So now if we go here and public function hero description, yeah, now we want to return a description here. Yeah, so that will be inside the data. So this data hero description, so it will just return this. And if there is no any data, so by default the data column will not have any data inside it, so it will throw an error. So for that, what we can do is use array helper class. Array, so it is illuminate support array. Yeah, and we can say get like this, and here we can say this data, and in this the second parameter will be the key of this array. So what it will do is it will look inside this data array, and it will look the key there, hero description. If this is not available, it will return null, otherwise it will return the same this hero description data over here. Yeah, so it will return either null or the value, so it will not throw any error. So we can say string here, so it will return either null or string. So it's done there, and let us also create this. Yeah, for this one, let's say this hero image URL, and let's say hero image URL here, and I'll say string, and let us return this for now. Yeah, okay, now if we go here and refresh the page, it should work the same way. Okay, we have done this. Now instead of this name, we want description over here. So if we go here in the update hero data component, so we can see that information over here. Yeah, so Jetstream doesn't have the text area component, so let us create one. So if we go here in the Jetstream, there is this input component for that, input one. Yeah, so let me just copy this, and let us create a separate components folder for us, so that we can distinguish between what are the components that are coming from the Jetstream and that we have created. We can say components. So let me create a folder, not a file, components, and inside here let me paste that input one, and let me call it text area. Let me define here text area, and we'll just copy this class here. So we'll remove all others. Yeah, and row will be 5 here, and we'll just copy this and paste it here, and let me remove this now. So here we have just replaced that input with text area, and we don't need this method here, and also we don't need this ref here. Okay, so let me explain what's happening here. So we have just given some design here. Let me also give w-full here, and just rows will be 5 rows, and the value is whatever we pass from the v model, that will be displayed here. And we are just, whenever we type something or do anything in the text area, it will emit an input event, and we are just emitting that input to this. Yeah, so whenever we emit an input, yeah, and it is just emitting the target value, whatever we have typed in the text area. So whenever we emit an input event, so this value will be available in the V model. So if you want V model support in your component, then always emit an input event with some value with it, and when that value will be always be available in the V models variable. Okay, this value is what we have typed, that will come from that parent component, and this will emit the value to that parent component. So we have done this. Now let us use that in your update hero data. So instead of jet input, what we can do is, let's say app text area, and let me just copy all this from here, and let me just paste it here, and let me just remove it. So I'm writing this app text area, yeah, because I'll be defining the component below as app text area. Okay, so instead of name we can say description, and here also I can say here description, yeah, and I can say here hero underscore description, autocomplete, I can say description over here, and I can say here hero underscore description. So this is the form, and whatever we pass in the form, whenever we have some validation error, it will be available here. We'll be seeing this as well. So let me import this component at the bottom. Import from components / text area, and I need to use it here. Yeah, so I have done that, and let me call here description, and let me also call description over here, and let me save it, and now refresh here. So now you can see the description over here, and I also want this to be full width, so I don't want this only up to here. Okay, so for that what I can do here is, wherever it is being defined, so it is span 6 and SM span 4. Yeah, so SM is for the bigger screens. So here in the image it is also span 4. Now here what we can do here is span 6 and span 6. And now if I go here and refresh the page, now you can see here it is going to the full page. Yeah, we can type here anything, so it will available as a V model. So we can define here as form.hero description here in the form. Yeah, so let me copy this, and here in the form below I can say hero description here. Yeah, okay, now let me again refresh here. Now if I go here inside the view, and here inside this create, here we'll have inside the create we have another component which is update hero data, and here we have this form object. Yeah, so here there are a bunch of other properties, yeah, that is provided to us by the Jetstream. So we can just see here hero image and description. Yeah, so if I type something here, so it is being available here, you can see here. Yeah, so whatever we type here, it is available here. So the V model is working here. So now we have shown here the hero information and update the hero section data, and also here is the photo, here is a new photo, and here is the description, and here is the save button. So whenever we save, it will send some information from here. So we'll be doing this in our next video, since this video is going to be very long. So let me stop it here, and I'll continue this one in the next video. So thank you for watching guys. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.